What's up, guys?
Coming at you with another episode
From the Backups. Today's episode is sponsored by Waffles. Coming soon in blue.
You know, people always like to eat their waffles, hot, maybe toast them up, cook them up.
Oh, normal people.
Yeah, no, that's actually a common misconception. They're actually much tastier and much healthier if you eat them cold.
Psycho?
I'm not a psycho.
You sure?
I don't know.
How good are they?
Not great.
Yeah, let's get rid of these things.
Rotten.
Alright,
Okay.
you know what? Into today's video.
We are continuing our little series that we've been doing, going over all the NBA All-Decades teams. Now we're going from 2010s all the way to the 1960s.
Backups and all.
If you haven't seen our previous video, we did that about the 2010s. So now we're going to be going on to the 2000s. And
Yes, sir. Alright.
Point guard, center, backups for all of them. I'll get into it?
Yeah.
Alright. First guy, point guard, Steve Nash.
Yeah. I think this was a no-brainer.
Yeah, the 2000s were definitely his decade. 2 MVPs, 3-time first team, 6-time All-Star, 3-time assist leader. He was just so consistent, and he had so many years where he just had so many assists.
Yeah, he was great.
Definitely the best passer of the decade, which,
Hands down.
yeah, really helps you be the best point guard of the decade. And
Definitely.
yeah, the stats speak for himself. Him and Amari Stoudemire was ridiculous.
combo.
Yeah, that was dirty. Exactly. And so yeah, just for all those kind of reasons, I think he was a really solid, true point guard.
Yeah.
And I think, he just did a lot of good
Yeah.
stuff in the 2000s.
The 2 MVPs, I think, put him over.
Yeah.
Back to back.
Even though he didn't get any rings, the
Yeah,
MVPs help.
definitely. I think another guy you can throw in there is Tony Parker.
Guy who has some rings.
Yeah, true. And a Finals MVP.
Yeah,
7
that's...
to add to it. 3-time All-Star.
Yeah,
He's a 3-time champ in the decade, so if you're basing it just on primarily championships, he'd be your pick.
Yeah,
But we factored other things into it. He didn't have any regular season MVPs, or stat-wise, he wasn't up there with Nash.
cheated on his teammate, or cheated on his wife with his teammate's wife. Yeah, him and
Or his teammate, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, he kind of cheated on his teammate in a way.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, not a great teammate either, so I guess that gives him a knock.
Definitely. And then moving on down to shooting guard.
I wonder who it is.
Hands down, Kobe Bean Bryant.
Yes.
Uh,
The Mamba.
the number 8 Kobe. The OG.
There's some 24 in there.
There was some 24,
think-
but
Yeah.
this was
this
more
was,
8.
Yeah, this was gnarly Kobe.
This was
This was gnarly
raw.
Kobe. Yeah.
4-time champ. 1-time Finals MVP in 09, MVP in 08. 7-time first team.
Yeah.
2-time scoring champ. His stats. The list goes on and on.
Yeah, honestly, the times when he wasn't winning championships in his career, that time from 04 to 08, might have been his actual prime.
Yeah,
because
that
he
was
was just
stat-wise.
carrying them. They just had Andrew Bynum and Smush. I guess Andrew Bynum was okay, but they had
okay.
Smush Parker and they had Kwame Brown.
Kwame
Those were the
Brown.
guys playing with Kobe Bryant, and he was still getting them wins.
Yeah.
He definitely the best player in the league for a few years at least, I would say.
Put up 81 points in the 2000s as well, so that's a 7-time defense first team.
Yeah.
And All-Star game from 2000 all the way to 2016. Just not missing one.
Yeah.
He's there every year, so he's great.
I think definitely a guy you would have to consider. I know it's probably hard for you to leave him off the list.
Well,
Allen Iverson.
Kobe's hard to
Yeah, it's hard to
compare with.
debate with Kobe. It's kind of like the LeBron James, Kevin Durant thing. It's obviously one's amazing, but
But yeah,
it's
Allen
just-
Iverson, he He was great.
Yeah.
I loved watching him.
Over 30 points per game 5 times. MVP in 2001. 10-time All-Star in the 2000s, so every year.
Yeah.
3-time scoring champ, 2-time first team, carried that garbage
Awful
Sixers team to the finals against Kobe Bryant. And he actually won a game.
Yeah.
Which is
pull off a game
more
all by
than
himself.
anybody else that year did in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Because they went undefeated except for them. So he definitely had his years
Yeah.
where he was dominant.
A lot of his prime years were wasted in bad years for the Sixers.
Yeah.
I think if he was put in a better position,
For
I think
sure.
he could have
If he was with,
succeeded more.
he was never with another superstar until Carmelo.
Mellow.
And then at that point, he kind of, because he's just a player that had to rely so much on his speed.
Yeah.
That
Speed,
when you
agility.
get older, like, you know, the speed goes first.
Exactly.
Like, when you're old and you're big, you're still big.
Yeah.
But you can never be as fast. So
Exactly.
definitely, yeah, he was definitely we definitely had a hard time leaving him off the list. So I'm glad we could put him in as a backup.
Allen.
And
Another
then
guy.
small forward was kind of a weird one for this.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a case for LeBron here.
Obviously.
But we put him in as a starter for the 2010s, and he never won any rings in the 2000s, and I
Yeah.
would just say that the 2010s are more
His era.
his era. But so the starting small forward is T-Mac, Tracy McGrady.
Team
Played on a few teams, played on the Raptors, the Magic, the Rockets. Those were probably his main. I think he played on like the Spurs, but
Yeah.
he was ring chasing at that point.
Yeah.
And so, from 2000 to 2007, which was kind of his prime,
Yeah, that was his
he averaged
years.
26 points per game over a really long period of time. He was a 7-time All-Star, a 2-time back-to-back scoring champ, and he just put on a show whenever he came out there, you know. Like,
Definitely.
he has, like, off the backboard alley-oops and just, like, crazy dunks, 13 points in 31 seconds.
Yeah, that one was crazy.
Some people, and I kind of agree, he didn't quite live up to his potential. I don't know if it's because he just never was on the right team, and obviously injuries.
I think he swung and missed. It was almost every team he landed on, they were on the downfall. When
Yeah.
he got there.
And he just was never able to, like, fully carry a team.
Yeah.
So, I think if a few things went different ways, I think he definitely could have been thought of as, like, one of the best small forwards of all time.
Definitely.
But without much playoff success, it's kind
It's kind of hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, he made this.
Yeah, he
lineup.
made this. He made our list. Congratulations.
Congrats, Team Eric.
He's
You won something.
He's thrilled. You know, we sent him a letter. You know, he's so happy about it. So I'm glad to
Can't wait to hear.
glad to cheer him up.
Can't wait to hear his kudos to us.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm expecting an acceptance video soon.
True that.
All right, the backups kind of, you know, he's actually the cousin of Tracy
Yeah.
McGrady.
Vince Carter, averaging 24 points per game in the 2000s,
Yep.
excluding his injured season. 7-time All-Star, some of the best dunks in NBA history.
Yeah,
It's on a new level. Vince Carter was the man. He was the man. He was the flashiest player in the league. Everyone loved watching him. In the All-Star game, he was great.
Yeah.
All around, he was just one of the most impactful players of this generation, I think, of this era.
Coming into the 2000s, he had the 2000 dunk contest where he just lit it up. He was probably like one of the most well-known NBA players
Yeah.
in the world at that point because just of what he'd done, and like he just caught everybody's attention with his dunks.
The highlights.
And so, I mean, I know that, you know, dunk contests shouldn't really play a part in it, but it just kind of does.
Yeah,
Just
for the
'cause
fans and everything.
It's just like cultural impact for basketball. I
Yeah.
think just really makes him like he deserves a spot on this list.
And his dunk contest win was so amazing.
Yeah.
Just that whole dunk contest with him. You know, it was like a huge moment in like NBA history,
Yeah.
I think. You know, it'll go down as probably the greatest dunk contest ever.
And then
At
I
least
think
the greatest performance.
yeah, for sure. And then another guy I kind of thought about, but he just wasn't really up to par with being on the list, if I'm being completely honest. Paul Pierce,
Yeah.
you know, the truth.
The true.
He definitely had his moments.
Yeah.
He was a clutch shooter,
Yeah.
but I think I think he's a little overrated sometimes. Kind of a hot take. I think he's like Melo. I think he's about like Melo
His
with
legacy
the one
is pretty
ring.
much like Melo.
With the ring.
At least he got a ring.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, it could happen to Melo. You know?
True.
I mean, he would just have to be like not play on the team at all. But if he
if he wants to start on a team, I don't think he's
maybe
gonna
if
win a
he's
ring.
like the assistant coach, he could win. Maybe that's what Melo should be shooting for at this point.
Or the water boy
But-
or something.
Yeah, there were some interesting choices for small forward.
Definitely some great players.
All right, next up is power forward.
Moving on down, we got the most boring man in basketball history, Tim
Tim Duncan.
Duncan. Also owns the title for the saggiest clothes ever worn on a human.
Spencer, it's high fashion. You wouldn't get it.
Oh, of course. That's what they all say. Anyways, Tim Duncan, 3-time champ,
Yeah.
2-time outside the 2000s, 2-time finals MVP, MVP for 02 and 03, back-to-back. Probably, if not the best power forward of all time.
I think he is.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you
Yeah.
on that one. All-star, all years through the 2000s.
That's
you know,
ridiculous. Yeah.
at the All-Star game every year. 6-time first team, 7-time first team defense.
Yeah.
It was just crazy.
What can you really say? He led probably the biggest dynasty of the 2000s. Won the most rings since the Michael Jordan dynasty.
Yeah.
And he was just dominant for so long. All throughout the 2000s was kind of his peak,
Yeah.
I would definitely say, where he really was like in his prime. And it was like him and Kobe fighting in the West every
Yeah.
year. He really helped shape what the West was for about like 15, like almost 20 years.
Yeah. And he was just so dominant.
Yeah.
In the post, he was a great teammate, I think, and he was just.
Really good technique, like not super flashy or athletic.
And he had the fundamentals down.
Yeah,
just
the
written on
big
the back of his
fundamental.
dick. So,
Right on the back of his dick.
So yeah, he was I think hands down the best power forward.
And in an era where there was so many good power forwards, he still stands out. Like our backup, Kevin Garnett.
KG.
In almost all other decades, he would probably be the first.
Number one, definitely.
Because I consider him at least a top 5 power forward of all time.
Definitely.
He's a one-time champ in 2008 with the Celtics.
Yep.
MVP in 2004. Another guy, All-Star. All
All-Stars
the
all the way
2000s.
through.
That's you can't really
Huge.
say anything else about that. 4-time first team and Defensive Player of the Year in 2008. So he, he's another guy that was one of the best power forwards ever.
Yeah.
Dominant, more
And he had his-
defensively.
He had his great statistical years and stuff in
Yeah.
Minnesota, and then he went and still had a Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah,
when
finally
he won
got
with the
that
Celtics.
champ. So he was important to that team.
Definitely.
Yeah, he was great. He definitely, we were thinking about putting Dirk on the list. Obviously, he has a lot of good years in the
Yeah.
2000s. We're not debating that.
Knocking
but
him or anything.
if you put him as, we already put him as the starter for the 2010s, so we thought that, we'd give it to Kevin Garnett. It
Yeah.
definitely would have been a toss-up anyways.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think just gave the tie to Kevin Garnett. Another, this guys like Bosch, too, who just had so many good stats, but, they're just obviously not good enough to put on the list.
Okay.
So, center. The big center to round things off.
The big man.
I think,
Shaq Diesel!
yeah, exactly.
Shaquille O'Neal, baby.
If you wouldn't guess that he's the center for the All Decades teams, you should be ashamed.
Probably. I don't know why you clicked on this video.
Yeah,
Like,
leave. Now, we don't want you.
get out of here.
But,
Do you not know what basketball is?
Yeah, jeez, you peasants. But, anyways. 4-time champion. 2000, 2001, 2002. Then he squeezed that last one in 2006.
True that. The D-Wade.
3-time consecutive Finals MVP. 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
To start off the decade, he just came in with a fucking bang.
Vengeance.
Yeah, Jesus. MVP in 2000, 8-time All-Star, 6-time first team. He was just so amazing, especially right at the beginning of the 2000s.
Most
Like-
dominant player in that little time frame.
Yeah,
for
like
sure.
his peak started a few years before 2000, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, those 5 years in the turn of the century right there, he was the best player on the fucking planet.
True
he
that.
just dominated. I think if he had a better not a better mentality, but just a more serious, you could tell there's some guys like Kobe or Jordan or someone like Tom Brady who
Who are
just
just
try
dedicated.
so hard.
They're dedicated
And if
to
I
the
feel like if Shaq did that, he would have like extended his prime a lot more
definitely.
into the 2000s. But he was still dominant, even though he kind of was a little bit of a fatty at the end stages of his career.
Yeah,
on the
and
Celtics and the Suns,
he
but
bounced around too, right there. At
at
the
the
end.
end he kind of lost it a little bit.
Celtic
but
Shaq.
what do you think about a little backup?
I think we got Ben Wallace sitting in there.
Yeah.
I think that was an easy backup pick for us.
Mm-hmm.
Champ with the Detroit Pistons in 04,
Yeah.
3-time All-Star, 4-time Defensive Player of
That
the Year.
is ridiculous. Like,
Crazy.
to be able to do that 4 times, you damn well should be on this fucking list.
Yeah.
Like
You deserve it.
he just he was a monster defensively.
And I just remember seeing some of his blocks.
Yeah.
And just what he did on the defensive side of the end was crazy.
Debatably the best player on that Pistons team.
Yeah.
Him or Chauncey
Chauncey.
Billups or someone like that. But yeah, he had a lot of good years. Another guy kind of thought about it a little bit before making this list. Yao.
Yeah.
Big
yeah.
China.
Yeah. Yeah. Was. I loved watching him.
Yeah.
He was just great.
His career is a little shorter.
A little short. but
Injuries, you're 7'2", like you're not gonna last.
7'7".
Oh shit, yeah. Sorry about that. 7'7", you're not gonna last that long. But he had a lot of good years.
Yeah.
Definitely around the world is like very well known,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
in China. He was like the
Worldwide.
first like
Huge.
big like Chinese like Asian basketball player. So
Yeah.
that in itself is pretty cool.
I think
But-
that made a big impact worldwide
Yeah.
for basketball.
Yeah,
honestly.
a lot. I feel like it probably got a lot more popular in China.
Because even like nowadays, guys like Curry and stuff, they go do stuff in China.
Yeah,
It's like,
they love it over there. Jeez.
yeah, they love basketball.
Yeah, so definitely a few good centers to choose from. Yeah, I just missed the list a little bit.
Missed it barely.
But yeah, I think that rounds it out with centers. So
Definitely.
that's about it with our 2000s NBA All Decades team.
Yeah, like and subscribe. Comment.
Make sure to check out the first part of the series where we went over the 2010s, and make sure to look out for the next episode where we go to the 90s, going all the way down to the 60s
All the
to some
way.
guys you probably never fucking heard of, and we'll tell you about them.
We're gonna talk about it.
We got the NHL ones too, so if you are also a hockey fan, or if you're not and you just think we're awesome, go check those out.
Of course.
And just all the videos, we're going to be posting more and more, grinding for summer,
Definitely.
getting some videos out, so yeah.
Hit the comments, like, subscribe, notification button. You know what to do. Waffles. Peace.